Janeshia, thank you again for the time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Cyrus. Thanks for having me.
Look, the pleasure's definitely all mine. And it's appropriate that we're having this conversation now, Janeshia, as March is being recognized as Women's History Month. You've been able to really pave your own way, to carve out your own path, and to make your own history. What has that been like for you, Janeshia, to be able to look at your career achievements and to see all you've been able to do?
I know it's totally fitting and it's perfect alignment because I have not allowed any no's to stop me. I've been very adamant and persistent about what it is I'm trying to achieve and my goals. I think my faith and the foundation that I was raised on has really been the driving force with everything. You know, I've had several different career paths, but all has really come down to, you know, from my athletic experience. I was an athlete my entire life. I did track and field. You know, that got me into bobsledding. And then from bobsledding, you know, I transitioned into doing, you know, Nike campaigns and sports modeling and then acting. Like I was a jock on a lot of shows and commercials from my athletic experience. And that kind of paved the way and then led to stunts. So, you know, I sit back sometimes and just think about, wow, you know, the blessings have been coming. I'm living in overflow, but I think it's just my obedience to faith, and I'm just very overly grateful. I'm just so thankful. Yes.
Yeah. And Janeshia, I watched an interview you did last year, and one thing you said in that interview that really struck me, you called yourself a walking testimony. And you also, I think, are an example of one of the things, and it gets into what a lot of people have, I didn't mention it in my introduction, of course, a lot of people have gotten to know you for all you've been able to do with Marvel. You said in that same interview, Marvel was literally on your vision board. So talk to us about that, because I think it's one thing for people to have a goal to say, I want to do this, do that, but you have not been afraid of the work. But what has it been like for you to have set these goals for yourself and then to achieve those goals?
Yes. So I am a walking testimony of what it means to truly trust and depend on God and to be obedient and then to stay persistent and not let anyone's no's deter me from my end goal, right? And I also am a big believer into vision boards. I grew up doing vision boards. My mom was adamant about that with me and my twin sister. And the thing about vision boards is when I put my stuff on my vision boards, I see it happening. You know, sometimes people just say things and they don't really believe what they're saying. I believe everything that comes out of my mouth. You know, I think that's what separates me from a lot of people. When I say something, I believe it's going to happen, and then I walk as if it's already going to happen. So Marvel being on my vision board many moons ago, I didn't know how it would happen. That's not the point. The point was I knew it would happen. So I had to make sure I'm ready when my name is called, because my mom always told me and my twin sister, it's better to be ready and not needed than to be needed and not ready. So I put in the preparation, I put in the hard work, and I think it comes a lot with being an athlete. You know, you're just so determined I got to win that race. So you go back to the drawing board, you go back to the weight room, you go back on the track, you practice harder, practice longer, lift heavier, you know. So that's just how I am. You know, that's how I kind of navigate myself through this planet, not letting anyone deter me from my dreams, my aspirations, and my goals. And so many people allow people to stop them. And you just can't do that.
Right. Janeshia, do you think that also is why you're not afraid of other success? Because I thought about this, too, when I was prepping for this segment, is that you are a big supporter of others. Is that security with yourself one of the reasons why it doesn't bother you to want to uplift and empower others?
Absolutely. Thank you for touching on that. You're like the second person who has touched on that. I'm very much confident in myself, my abilities, what I've done, what's going to happen, and what's coming for me. So I have no problem with helping others. I don't have any jealousy in my heart. There's no envy in my heart. And I think that comes with how I was raised and knowing that foundation of God's love is like really in me. Like I can help you and know you're going to make it and still be okay with where I'm at because I know what God has for me is for me, you know? I just think that's the authenticity in me, the truth that I live and I walk with. I I don't care to help. I don't think me helping you or anyone else is going to interfere with coming my way. I just don't. I will forever go to my grave knowing that there's enough work for everybody, that we're all creative and innovative, and there is enough room. I can eat McDonald's and Burger King and Wendy's. You know, I don't have to, you know what I mean? It's just,
right.
I live in knowing that there is enough for everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What a great way to be. Which leads us to what brought you to Mississippi. You're a part of the Perspective series, Janeshia, when you came to Tougaloo College. I want to talk about that because I saw a clip on one of our TV affiliates here of that visit. Talk to us about what it's been like for you to pour into others and just through your presence be able to inspire them and remind them of what's possible. What has that been like for you?
Oh, it's so rewarding. It is so incredibly rewarding when I'm able to speak to others, especially youth, because I feel like that is your brain and what it is that you want to accomplish, or the opportunities that are out there, you know, could spark some interest in you. So I love speaking to the youth, but I also really love speaking to people who look like me. And so when Ingenue came to me about, hey, she was going to do this series called Perspectives and just wanting to bring people down to her alma mater, Tougaloo, and to speak to some of those students, I was like, immediately, yes, tell me when. I will make sure I got the time. It doesn't matter. I'm here for it. Because sometimes the only difference is awareness. You know, shed light on, you know, the acting world, the stunt world, behind the scenes, things that I've gone through, and to share with people who look like me, because I don't know what I might say that might spark interest in them. There was athletes in that room. There were editors in that room. There were students who are future directors, you know, and so I want to be able to provide the knowledge, the insight, and experience that I have to those who look like me, so that they can say, hey, look at her. She is a walking testimony of no limits, not allowing anyone to stop her. So, yes, it's always a good time when I can share my experience and my journey of how I've gotten where I am, because, you know, there is no one way to get to quote-unquote Hollywood or the industry. There's a million different paths. And if I can provide to a student, a young black boy, young black girl, hey, these are some of the things I did. These are some of the things to look out for, how to prepare yourself. I'm here for it. I'm game. You know, it takes a village, you know.